Now we're going to do some foundation on Lexi, and the most important thing about using foundation is to make sure that you get the right color. You want to keep it looking like natural skin. Quite often we have to balance the color out. A lot of the time, you know, we're being so careful with wearing sunblock and protecting the face that our face can be quite a lot lighter than everywhere else, and you might not want to be the same color exactly as your body, but you want to kind of meet it in the middle somewhere. And also, you know, if you have a little bit of pigmentation or a little bit of redness in the skin, it's all about, you know, being able to balance that color out without looking like you're wearing a ton of makeup. Okay, so the first thing we would want to do is really look at the skin, whatever kind of color is along your jaw and slightly onto your cheek, you know, you want to make sure that it matches that. Most people tend to be like a slightly yellow undertone or a more red undertones, and that goes right from the most fair skin all the way to the darkest skin tones. So you want to work out whether, you know, you have the redness or the yellow, and redness isn't always a bad thing. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I don't want to be red, and so they'll choose a yellow foundation, but it's going to make them, you know, look ashy, or, you know, it's not going to bring out the best in their skin, or it'll just look like, you know, you've got the wrong color foundation on. I love to mix colors, and I can't do makeup without using more than one color at a time. It's a problem, but it's kind of fun at the same time. It means that I can, you know, use a darker tone around the edge of the face, or, you know, use a lighter tone through the center, just, you know, to make sure that the color matches perfectly. So I have a couple of shades. I have one that's like a soft kind of golden, and then I have one that's a little bit more golden. And, you know, what I like to do, my technique is to polish the face as I work and just kind of use different colors as I move around the face, just to balance everything out. So I'm going to use a buffing brush. It's a synthetic brush, it's quite firm. And I start in the middle of the face. You know, this is if we want to get a little bit more coverage with makeup, but I still want to make it look kind of natural. And my movements are almost like, you know, really pressing it in, small movements, so that it works into the skin rather than wiping over the top of the skin. So through the middle of the face, I'm starting with the lighter shade. You know, you can see on Lexi with no makeup on that around her hairline is a little more golden. So that's where we would want to use a slightly darker shade, and it just adds dimension to the skin. I don't love to create a blank canvas and then have to bring all the color back. You know, I want kind of the skin to have some tone and some natural kind of looking contour. You know, sometimes you just don't need a lot of foundation at all, especially kind of not on the jawline, or usually the most kind of color is through the center of the face. So I will start in the middle and work my way out as needed. So every time I go back in to pick up product, I'm, you know, picking up not a ton of product. You know, it's all about kind of building it up slowly. Now we're just going to go in with the slightly darker tone. And then we can just work that along the hairline. And that just keeps it looking warm and not like just a flat canvas. So just through on the ears. Don't forget the ears. That's the thing that we always do for the runway, is remember the ears. Because you don't want to have this beautiful, perfect face and then like these sad pink ears. Your ears are not sad and pink, by the way. Just, you know. I leave the eyelids. I do just the brow bone. You know, because when I get to eyes, again, it's like less is more for me. I don't want to have too many layers of things everywhere. And quite often this bit just under the jaw is a little bit lighter because, you know, the chin is guarding it from the sun, so we can even that out lightly. Cool. Yeah, so for this look we used two shades. One that was pretty much an exact soft kind of golden match for Lexi's skin, And then I used a darker, slightly, ever so slightly more golden shade that complements the color around the edge of her face, you know, where she gets natural, a little bit of natural sun, and just to kind of even everything out. And then, you know, to balance with whatever the body color is. And that way you kind of can meet in the middle. You don't have to do a whole face that's too dark. So the effect is really to add like a natural warmth to the skin. It adds a natural contour, it adds shape, you know, it adds a little bit of color without having to, you know, then go back in and bring color back.